Estructura 1.1, nouns and articles. Spanish nouns. A noun is a word used to identify people, animals, places, things, or ideas. Unlike English, all Spanish nouns, even those that refer to non-living things, have gender. That is, they are considered either masculine or feminine. And this is easily visible in nouns like boy, girl, man, woman, like we have in English. But in Spanish, every single noun has a gender. The word itself is either considered masculine or feminine. As in English, nouns in Spanish also have number, meaning that they are either singular or plural. Nouns that refer to living things. So on the left we have masculine nouns and on the right we have feminine nouns. Words like the man will obviously be masculine. El hombre. Words like the woman will obviously be feminine. La mujer. Generally speaking, words that end in O are going to be masculine. So when we see this word el chico, usually words that end in O are going to be masculine, so we can know that that word is a masculine word. El chico, el pasajero. On the other hand, words that end in A are typically going to be feminine. La chica, la pasajera. What we're about to start distinguishing is this use of el for the and la for the, depending on whether the word is masculine or feminine. So words that are masculine and singular, to say the word will be el. For words that are feminine and singular, the word will be la. Often words that end in the word or, like el conductor, el profesor, are going to be masculine. So the driver, and we're talking about a male driver, the teacher, and we're talking about a male teacher. On the other side, words that end in ora are going to be feminine. La conductora is the driver if it's a female. La profesora is the teacher if she's a female. Words end in ista are either going to be masculine or feminine depending on if they are a male or a female. For example, turista is the word for tourist, and if it's a male tourist, it would obviously be el turista to talk about him, or la turista if it's a female. Generally, nouns that refer to males, like el hombre, are masculine, while nouns that refer to females, like la mujer, are feminine. Many nouns that refer to male beings end in O or or. Their corresponding feminine forms end in a and ora, respectively. So on the left, we have el conductor. It's a male. And on the right, we have la profesora, female. The masculine and feminine forms of nouns that end in ista, like turista, are the same. So gender is indicated by the article el for masculine or la for feminine. I've said all this in a couple of slides previous, but this is just to drive it all home and make sure it all sinks in. Some other nouns have identical masculine and feminine forms, like the word joven is just a young person or a youth. So el joven would be the young man and la joven would be the young woman. El estudiante is the male student and la estudiante would be the female student. Nouns also refer to non-living things, and with those, we have to learn how to distinguish whether or not they are considered masculine or feminine. So the rules that we're going to cover right now, these are more generalizations, and sometimes we're going to find some exceptions to these rules. But we'll learn those exceptions along the way as we go. For right now, words that end in O, you should just memorize that those are usually going to be masculine. So el cuaderno, the notebook. El diario, the diary or the journal. El diccionario, the dictionary. El número, the number. El video, the video. Words that end in ma, like problema, programa, are going to be masculine. Words that end in S, like el autobús and el país, are going to be masculine. So bus and country. Over here, feminine nouns are going to be words that end in A. Now, make sure you're noticing here, I just got done saying that words that end in MA are usually going to be masculine. But if there's not an M in front of the A, the word is generally going to be feminine. So la computadora, the computer. La cosa, the thing. La escuela, the school. La maleta, the suitcase. La palabra, the word. Words ending in ción, like la lección, la conversación, are feminine. And then words ending in dad, like la nacionalidad or la comunidad, are feminine. As shown above, certain noun endings are strongly associated with a specific gender, so you can use them to determine if a noun is masculine or feminine. Because the gender of nouns that refer to non-living things cannot be determined by foolproof rules, you should memorize the gender of each noun that you learn. It is helpful to learn each noun with its corresponding article, el for masculine and la for feminine. Another reason to memorize the gender of every noun is that there are common exceptions to the rules of gender. For example, el mapa. These are some of those exceptions that I was talking about a little bit ago. Normally, we would look at the word mapa and think, oh, that ends in A, so that's going to be feminine. So I'm telling you right now, here's a word you need to learn that is actually masculine. So to write or to say the map, it's el mapa. And the word for day, which ends in an A, is also feminine, el día. La mano, the word for hand, ends in O, but it's actually feminine. So that's why we have la mano, not el mano. Again, these are just things that you need to memorize, and I really do encourage you to just learn these articles, the el or the la. Just learn those right along with the vocabulary that you're learning. Plurals. To form the plural, simply add s to nouns that end in a vowel, and for nouns that end in a consonant, add es. For nouns that end in z, change the z to c, then add es. For example, el chico, the boy. Los chicos, the boys. El diario, the diary. Los diarios, the diaries. El problema, the problem. Los problemas, the problems. So in the singular, the article is el. In the plural, the article is los. Over here, on the feminine side of things, la nacionalidad, this ends in a consonant, so we're going to add es to make it plural. It also adds another syllable when you do so. So it's las nacionalidades. El país, so the country. Los países. Notice that we add es because país ends in a consonant. El lápiz, this ends in a Z. So remember, for nouns that end in Z, change the Z to C, then add es. So los lápices, CES. In general, when a singular noun has an accent mark on the last syllable, the accent is dropped from the plural form. So we're going to see these things in Spanish. They're called accents, and it tells you where to put the stress in the word. So we look at this and we know it's pronounced la lección. Then when we make it plural, we want to maintain the stress on that on syllable. And so we're just going to add ES, but with the rules of stress, we actually no longer need to write that written accent, so we omit it. So when accent marks are written on the last syllable, you make it plural, you drop it. So la lección with an accent over the O becomes las lecciones, no accent. El autobús with an accent becomes los autobuses, removal of the accent. Use the masculine plural form to refer to a group that includes both males and females. So if you have un pasajero, so one passenger, más dos pasajeras plus two female passengers, we have tres pasajeros. Because we have just one male in the group, we're going to call this whole group of people, we're going to make that default to masculine. If these were all females, it would just be tres pasajeras. But in the case of having just one male in the group, that defaults the whole group to masculine as far as grammar goes. Dos chicos más dos chicas son cuatro chicos. As you know, English often uses definite articles, which are the. English really only has one. We just have the, whether it's masculine or feminine or singular or plural. And indefinite articles, which is a or an. So like instead of the boy, now we're talking about a boy. Spanish also has definite and indefinite articles. Unlike English, Spanish articles vary in form because they agree in gender and number with the nouns that they modify. Spanish has 4 forms that are equivalent to the English definite article the. Use definite articles to refer to specific nouns. So the dictionary, el diccionario. The dictionaries, los diccionarios. Notice these are the masculine forms, so we're going to use el or los, singular, plural. Feminine side, la computadora, las computadoras. So in Spanish, we have 4 different ways to say the, based on whether the noun is masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. Indefinite articles. Spanish has 4 forms that are equivalent to the English indefinite article, which according to context may mean a, an, or some in English. Use indefinite articles to refer to unspecified persons or things. So on the masculine side here, singular and plural, we've got un pasajero, which is a passenger, or it can also be translated to one passenger. The plural, unos pasajeros, would be some passengers. The feminine, fotografía, so to say a photograph or one photograph, una fotografía, and some photographs is unas fotografías. So definite articles, el, la, los, las. Indefinite article, un, una, unos, unas. And that brings us to the end of Estructura 1.1.